Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Well, I've decided to add a power tank bracket for a 5-pound propane tank, or 5 or 10 pound I think. Propane tank to the back here of my Jeep on my Gobi rack. I bought this at the Pomona off-road event when I was working there from their booth, and the guy had me take a photo of how the brackets were done, thank goodness, because the installation video was not that helpful on the website. So these are my lessons learned. Number one, so the brackets that attach to the Gobi rack here, okay, the fingers, if you will, the long slots, they face in. Okay, so you have them face in, and you're gonna use the middle set of spacers. The other thing that wasn't clear in the installation video is which way do these brackets go. You know, because there's a cutout that goes all the way along, and there's a cutout that's just a little bit on each side there and not the center. So this is how you install them. So you want to have it this way, because as you see over here, these bolts are going to slide down in here to the slot. So this is how you do it. I had a couple of extra washers left over, so I went ahead and put them behind here, although I don't think it's really meant for that, but I had a couple left over. Now, how do you do the bolts? You have some short bolts and long bolts, because it's also, you can also put this on a 5th gen 4Runner ladder that's further spaced apart, and you don't need the long bolts, okay? But you need the long bolts because you're gonna run those, which are the ones here on the left, through a little bit more real estate. You got to run it through this bracket, so the short bolt's going to be too short. So you have to use a long bolt. So the short bolt is going to be holding the aluminum bracket onto the iron bracket here. Okay, so that's short bolt only. Then you're going to go long bolt, because it's gonna have to hook to a little bit more real estate. And then this one's going to be a short bolt here. Okay, because it's just going to go through and mount here. It doesn't have to go through this thicker bracket. So you can see why that second one's got to be a long bolt. Right now, nothing's tightened up all the way. I'll do that once I kind of get everything test fit. My biggest concern with it, because you can see it's not a symmetrical installation. To make this work on the Gobi, it's got to be a little bit, if I can see, you can see it here, it's got to be a little bit to the left or to the right on the installation. Advantage of that is it helps tuck it up a little bit more behind the vehicle and doesn't stick out as much. I was worried a little bit about the window here, been able to open it up, and you can see there is some clearance here on those brackets, so that's good. That was one of the things I was worried about. All right, let me finish tightening everything up, and I'll get the tank on and let you see what it looks like. Okay, when I went to tighten up the brackets to the rack here, there's no interference. But over here, with the bolts in, you can't get to the nuts here. So, yeah, you're gonna have to, once you get it all test fit, you will have to take the two mounting bolts off on this side to be able to tighten that up. Well, I'm not sure what to do. So I had this 10-pounder, which is a high pressure one. It's a little bit wide, that will not fit. So I thought, well, I'll put my egg neck up there. It's pretty thin, but you know what? It's not gonna work. I cannot well, maybe, there might be enough thread there, I'll see. But it doesn't look super promising. I don't like having that little thread. We'll see. Okay, I got it to work. However, there's this little piece right here. It's supposed to thread on here to keep you from losing this. Okay, there's not enough thread there for that to work. It also means that whenever I have to take the tank off, instead of just loosening it up to then flick this out of the T to lift it up, or just loosen it up to lift it up, I'm literally going to have to take this apart whenever I need to refill it, which then increases the danger of losing that piece. So I need to see if there's a different shape here on this. This is those Ignic growlers they're called. So it might be a very specific design, in which case I'll need to look for something else perhaps. All right. Anyway, so there's my review and there's my assembly, and it looks pretty good. Well, good morning, everybody. As I was piecing the video clips together, I realized that I didn't have one of the final solutions. So I did on Amazon find myself a 5-pound tank, and as you can see, it actually fits much nicer this way. And I've been it's probably been on there now a couple of months. Like anything else that's exposed to the elements, I've already got a little bit of rust showing up here. I'm gonna probably need to take care of at some point in time, but I have a braided metal hose that I use that runs from there down to my grill, and to I could run it to my propane fire pit, but I still have the growler for that. But I predominantly use this for running my grill on my table, which is one of the Jetboil Genesis systems, and it works fine. And it says not to hook a tank up to it. You're supposed to use 1-pound bottles, but that 5-pound does not have that much pressure, so I think it should be fine. Anyway, that's the final look of it. I'll throw some pictures in here at the end of it, of the vehicle out on Wolf Creek Pass, and just south of or just north of Wolf Creek Pass, down the valley.